The really scary thing about this Israeli-Palestinian issue is what it says about human psychology. The fact of the matter is that you have many people who support the Israeli position who, in their everyday lives, are very nice, kind people. They would never support stuff like just randomly murdering people, outright racism, and that sort of stuff. Yet, all of a sudden, when Israel does it, it's okay to just flat out murder people. It's okay to engage in ethnic cleansing. It's okay to do things as part of a group that they would never, ever do as an individual. Now, it's not just that they would not have the courage to do things as an individual, but they wouldn't want to do it as an individual. It wouldn't occur to these people who support Israel that it's okay for them as an individual to just go out and murder someone else because they're a Palestinian, whatever that's supposed to mean. But all of a sudden, when it comes to taking part in group action, now it's okay. It's okay now to engage in ethnic cleansing because the group that you're part of is doing it. It's okay for you to, put forth and push for this bizarre race theory, theocratic agenda of a homeland for Jewish people. Whatever bizarre thing that's supposed to be. All of a sudden, when the group is for it, but in individual life, these concepts really don't make any sense. And I would really push for the point that in individual life, you would never see people engage in this behavior. They wouldn't want to. They would become disgusted by it. So it's only when you see the group saying, let's go engage in ethnic cleansing, that all of a sudden you have, this mass amount of cognitive dissonance as people have to do whatever they can to convince themselves that Israel is in the right. Of course, any time where in history where you have one nation, people, whatever, engaged in things such as apartheid state, colonialization, ethnic cleansing, using the military power of the state to enforce any type of race agenda, it is the perpetuators of this race system that's held responsible. For example, if there was some time in history where you had slavery and there was a slave revolt, you can just go abstract away the entire context and say it's wrong for that slave to kill the person of the ruling class. So let's condemn them. And of course, if you abstract everything away and look at it from a very narrow and truncated point of view, oh yeah, you can say that. In that slave revolt, in that particular instance, they killed an innocent person. Yet, if you look at the wider scope of things, the party that is responsible is the one that is engaged in subjugating another people. And that's why there's no ifs, ands, or buts about who's in the right and who's in the wrong when it comes to this Israeli-Palestinian issue. The side that is 100% in the wrong is Israel, because Israel is engaged in ethnic cleansing. That's it. There's nothing else to really go beyond that. And I don't even think that this is so much of an economic issue as some other people like to make it out to be. Because, when you come from a liberal leftist background, where people talk about resource-based economy or socialists, or lots of different things that I come from, people want to project class warfare onto everything, how the economy plays into this, and I know all that's part of it, but a big part of this whole Zionist thing is this lunacy that this land belongs to the Jewish people because they think that the Almighty Creator of the universe gave some slab of land to the so-called Jewish people. I have to put that in quotes. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. And this crazy religious nonsense really is part of it, because Jews don't want to look at their own religion and face the insanity that's either in it or that can be projected onto it. But Zionism has turned Judaism from a religion into some lunatic ethnic cleansing justification. It's an absolute joke, and anyone who seriously considers Judaism to be some type of spiritual exercise should be absolutely appalled at what's going on in Israel. But what can you say about these people who take religion seriously and they're good, kind-hearted individuals in everyday life, and all of a sudden, because the group engages in ethnic cleansing, they have to march along to it? that's the scary part. That individuals' insanity is rare, but in the group it's the norm. In individuals, such extreme cruelty might be rare, but in groups it is the norm. As long as you're engaged with the group, you can do all sorts of cruel, inhumane things to other people. And it's not that the Zionists or the Israelis or the sort of Jewish people are engaging in this. It's that this. What does this reflect upon humanity in general? In which ways are all of us as individuals guilty of doing this? And that's the scary part, that we can go around engaged in extremely cruel behavior, and we use the group to shield ourselves. And what's going on with Israel, that's just an example of this. The only, way that this really matters is it's not to kind of point the light at Israel. It's if someone kind of takes this lesson and they look at their own lives and say, in which way am I using the group to engage in very cruel ways towards other people? And for example, what I kind of spoken about before in other videos is just the homeless situation in New York City. And it's kind of like we're all engaged in this group cruelty, just letting that exist. So you go into the subway, people are all living there begging for money, and that's supposed to be normal, but in fact it's all class warfare and cruelty. And I think psychologically each one of us as an individual gets away with it because we see other people doing it. uh, Otherwise, what are you going to do? Say I'm cruel, I'm a bad person because I'm not doing my part to end suffering? And I think that that's part of what it comes down to, is that we need this shield. Like whenever we need to engage in something really cruel, we run to the group to protect us. All of a sudden I'm not doing it, the group is doing it. And now when the group comes up with bullshit to defend it, now all of a sudden now I have my cognitive dissonance and I can do whatever. That's it. Bye.